All right, so check it out. Here's how you actually open one of these things correctly without screwing everything up. So you see this back here, this seam? You just run your finger gently under it, very gently, and then you kind of open it up like this without dropping it. By the way, this is why I only touch my cards, because no. No. So you do the same thing on the opposite side. You kind of just... I have big fingers, so this is really annoying. Here we go. Okay, good. That didn't rip anything. See, so it's like nice and straight like this. Can we see it? Sort of. Yeah. So we got that. Now, next, you go from the top, right? The top here. And you kind of just... sort of try to pinch it. I'm having a hell of a time. You do not want to crinkle the art. See? Art is nice and smooth. Keep it smooth. Do not actually crease the art. Whoever... The older packs were easier to open than this. But you know what? Alright, so another way to do it is you can just sort of pull it. I wonder at some point someone's going to comment on this and they're going to be like, yo, dude, turn on the light. You know? No, I like to do things the hard way. Alright, you know, I'm just going to mess up the entire thing with this. Alright, you know, you're supposed to pull the top open and then gently remove the cards. I'm going to do it a different way. No, actually, I'm going to do it the way that I described it because I finally got it. See, it takes a little bit of time to do this, and it's not easy. You need to actually, I guess, do this. See, I already messed it up too. Kind of. So once you actually have this opened, see, I'm trying to like show how to do this like the nice way, and it kind of didn't really work out. When I opened up my first edition stuff, you know, I opened up some of them just because I was curious. What I did was, Yeah, see, you can see where this kind of ripped out a little bit. Not really ripped out, just the, you know, there's like this that came off. Ideally, this is supposed to seamlessly open up for the cards to be seen easily. And you want to make sure that you don't get your sweat everywhere, because that will mess up the cards and things. So, okay. Let's put this little buffer down here first. Now you can see the cards coming out, right? Now, I'm going to touch them like this. See, this is where I actually look a little bit professional, because I don't touch the front and mess up everything. Now, there are still some cards in here. And I'm going to put this down like that. Someone's going to be like, yo, bro, get a job. Get a real job. I have a real job. I run a construction business. See, this doesn't look too bad. Except for this, which I guess can be hidden a little bit. I like to preserve the art the best I can. No. I recommend that. Also try not to touch the front of these. Okay. So here, I'm going to actually put some light on. See if you can actually see this. See, like, I'm killing you here. I mean, it's a little bit better, but still. And here, I'm going to It's like watching me do this is like watching someone who clearly is built for other kinds of professions. Certainly not for grading Pokemon cards or opening decks or any. I'm like really not the right person for this job. But you know, at least I'm actually trying. I'm trying not to destroy the art. Okay, so anyway, we got these guys. These little penny sleeves from GameStop. Shout out to GME. Congratulations to anyone who made a lot of money on that. Probably is going to run again. And I also trade stocks too, so, and options. Degenerate gambler, what do you expect? Okay, so we start with this Zweilius guy. Someone's going to correct me on the pronunciation, and I hope so. How the heck does this even work? You know, I'm also using like the mirror thing. I can't wait for people to rip apart the quality of this video, because it's coming. I know it. So anyway, I'm putting all of these into these little things because clearly I need the practice. Normally when I buy this stuff, I just drop a bunch of money and I say to hell with it, and that's about it. See, now the Zebro looks actually pretty decent. They should have named this Zebro. Zebro would have made a lot more. Maybe I should invest in a tripod considering all the money I fucking spend, but whatever. Tauros. Okay, this is something that I can relate to. Okay, this guy, he was in the original vintage group back in the day when I was growing up. Yeah, I'm that old. So anyway, making sure not to grab the front of this thing because it's crap to do that. Get in there. Get in there. I'll get better at this as time goes on. Yeah, that's how it goes. Stupidity is not a constant. It can be fixed. Alright, let's see. Got a Pokemon trainer card. It's like something. What's it? It's a diamond. That means it's pretty much worthless. That's actually pretty cool. It looks cool. You know, just because something's not worth a lot of money, you know, doesn't mean that it's not cool. I think what, they're like over 2,000. And this one looks honestly more alright, so now we've got this Bravery guy. See, Bravery, spelled with extra letters to make it unique. Is everyone special? I'm special. I'm definitely special. This is a diamond. So, okay, yeah, Steve's unboxing. We're going on like 11 minutes now, and probably about the first 8 minutes was me trying to unopen a pack. Whatever, you know, whatever. Alright, so we got our first, I guess what you call it, reverse holo. Zangoose. This card's probably worth like 25 cents or something, I don't know. What I should do is I should find one of my investors, he's like a boomer, and have him on videos with me doing this, and it would be absolutely hilarious. Because I want to actually see him try to open up one of these damn things. They're not for people our age. Okay, this is really cool. Here's another reverse holo. It's a trainer. It's a diamond. Drayton. Interestingly, there's a road right next to me. Drayton Street. It goes through Savannah, Georgia. Okay, probably never heard of it. TMI, TLDR, you know, that shit. Alright, so the amount of care that I'm using on these really worthless cards, it's honestly kind of sus. Okay, this looks like it could be something. Alright, this is an EX. It's got like some stuff going on here. But it's a star, it's double star. Cerulege or something. You know, I can't even pronounce the name of the fucking Pokemon these days. But yeah, this guy's like EX and holo, so I'm going to have to look up what that means. But all I know is that the damage that these freaking things do. The original trading card game, most everything has like somewhere around 60 HP. This thing's Raging Amethyst attack does 280 damage. It's like if you brought this into like an old school Pokemon battle, if they had like, you know, crossover thing, that would destroy it in like one hit. Even some of these like smaller, it's like I don't know what they did with the decks, but it's like they needed to. I think they just started to throw numbers in there, kind of like how they value. You know what I'm doing wrong? I just held this in the middle of it. That's how you get whitening. So here's a little lesson on Now, I might not be brilliant at opening this crap, but I know what the hell I'm looking at. So, all right, check it out. When you see whitening occurs when you actually touch and your oils get onto the face of the card. When that happens, over time, it becomes less valuable. You're not going to have the right grade of a card that way. It's going to be, it's going to mess it up. Fortunately, this is a common card, so it doesn't really matter, but it does matter because how I handle one card is going to determine how I handle others. And, you know, I'm actually going to put this Cerulite. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use one of these guys. One of these top loaders. See, I don't do these technical terms, and you're going to see that. You know, it's kind of like going to, it's like going into, you'll see that I'm pretty much like wearing a bikini into battle instead of like actual armor. Like there's no way that, alright, so this is a top loader, what the, it's like trying to figure out the 3 seashells. Alright, so you got your whatchamacallit thing on here first, the sleeve, penny sleeve, and now you got top loader, which you just kind of go, I'm putting it in right now, and then boom, there you go. There is your, I guess, rarer card inside the top loader. So this way, it's harder to bend. Imagine that. Okay. So you have this like sandy gas thing. Sandy gas. Alright, so we got Sandy Gas, Sandy Dick. Sandy Dick's gonna go in this card here, okay? So this is how you know I'm from New York. Throw that in. Alright, you got that. Now, you got basic energy in here. Alright, so this is some big dick energy going on. I don't know what this is, but it's psychic. They really changed up the cards from back in the day. And I remember when this stuff was like a loser's fest. Not anymore. So, alright, cool. Oh, and the last card. Got ourselves a Vulpix. Yep. Just a Vulpix, nothing special. Now, I'm wondering if I should go those reverse holo cards, if I should put them in the top loaders, but honestly, that's just for more valuable cards. And I have some really valuable stuff anyway, so to me, it just doesn't really make sense to kind of go overkill with certain things just because it's a pain in the neck to mess around with all that. So that's pretty much it. I guess what they say, like, subscribe, some shit like that. I don't know. Do whatever you want.